Alright guys, welcome to the video. Hey, today we're going to work on, a little rust repair on the OBS truck. We did the other side. I made a decent video of it. This side is pretty much the same, but it's a different day. And we got this little feature here, a little bit more severe rust in some areas, but I mean, it's still the same stuff. We're going to have to cut this, replace the bottom half of this. We got to get it out of the way first so we can get behind it and replace that piece. Yeah, because there's some multiple layers coming together, right? That's all rusty back there. It's got to be replaced. This piece is mildly rusty, so probably going to need to replace it too. Yeah, we'll get this up into good metal. The issue is this little piece here, because the cab corner, you see I've already cut off. So the cab corner goes and it wraps inside of the jamb. This piece continues on, and it is the inner right here. Our rockers, they only come up so far. So we've got to be really careful how we cut this out and stuff, and we'll do the same thing we did on the other side, just as minimalistic as we can. We just have to drill spot welds and be really careful because it's crunchy too. We're going to have to rust repair it and weld it back into the vehicle. Luckily, it's just a small strip down at the bottom there, I believe, if I'm remembering right. Man, look at that. The layers of crust. Yeah. Nope. Yep, there we go. Little spot weld busting bit. I like this nice flat bit to slide in between panels and cut them out. Yeah, either one of them will work. You just got to use them. All right, for our workout here today, we are going to use some ear protection, some eye protection, air chisel, and some leather gloves too. These things are good. Well, all right, guys, a little different picture this morning. We got a door off. We got the front fender pulled off. And yeah, the rocker is pretty much cut out. What I'm doing right now is I'm figuring out how much I can cut off of here. So I use that panel just jammed up on it. I've got it cut out quite a ways. And you can see I'm getting close to the edge where the panel goes. So I don't want to go any further into that, but I do want to cut around so I can fit this up good. And we're really working on this inner part here. You can see the bottom bit of it is rusted out. It has holes in it back here. So we're just going to take the old plasma and we're going to cut us a straight line across there. And then we'll use our replacement part to replace that. And it does go back into this quite a ways. I actually built this piece out of stuff I had laying around, got it welded in there after all that rust was gone. And then we have a second layer of inner structure that fits up here. So all that is to come. Right now we're working on this front with the rocker. I find the biggest stuff about doing this rust repair where there's multiple layers is don't freak out. Calm down. Think your way through it. Do one section at a time. Well, okay, I got to have the camera super close because it's a rainy day outside, but we got all of our stuff all full welded in. I cleaned it up with a wire wheel, knocked off a little rusty stuff that was way up here, and now we're going to use some Van Sickle cold galvanizing spray on here. This stuff takes forever to dry, but man, it works good for corrosion protection. I guess it's easy too. So we just hose it on there. All right, so just keep going at this and try to get up underneath stuff as best you can. Want it. Yeah, it's nasty. Nasty stuff. All right, update. Cab corner is rough cut, sitting on there. Got the rocker sitting on there, making sure everything's going to line up down here. And I mean, it's just sitting there, not even any screws right now. So we're close. And you can see my predicament right in here. This is a window that I cut so that I could put the inner structure in here and get it all welded in clean. And then we have to deal with this part next. We kind of got to patch it up a little bit, get some strength back in it, and then it has to set off to the side. We have to weld all of this stuff up, grind it, get it clean, and then we'll make this part butt weld to the rocker. All right, so we slapped the door back on, got our checking the alignment back here, and my cab corner's in a little bit. It needs to come out so that we have a good flushness this way. Rocker panel is tucked back up under there even further, so it's going to require a little manipulation to get it out, but I've got a decent gap back here in between the rocker and the door. That's kind of what I checked. Up at the front, the rocker is like touching the door, but this is still overlapped right here. So I went through and I scribed where the edge of the rocker is so that I can come in and cut that out. And then we'll be able to tuck this rocker inside of here and we'll get this gap fixed up here. So, man, you had to put the door on, take it off a few times to get this all taken care of. And it's just a pain to get this part of it done. All the reinforcement welding and everything is done underneath all of this. Now we're fitting these cosmetic panels and we definitely want them to fit. I mean, if they don't fit now, they never will. All right, so we've got our rocker down under there. Final fit work is done. And we took our door and aligned it up so it shuts. It should shut super easy now because the bottom weather strip's pulled out of it. I've got screws in here holding things in place, and getting ready to bust out the welder and stitch it together.
It's so cool.
Pretty good fit going on across here. I have to work on a little bit of it. It got a little loose here, but not terrible. You saw what I was doing. I just use a thin cutoff wheel. I have my piece here already cut, dressed pretty nice, so I can just glide that cutoff wheel right across the top. I'm using a little bit of an angle so we get a little tighter fit up out of it. And yeah, you see, I went ahead and welded the rocker in. Just have to take care of the stuff up at the very front of it yet. So we're gaining on her. The floor was welded, but the weld wasn't all the way into this little reinforcing piece. Kind of curled that up a little bit, but you know, just whack it around a little bit. All right, so here you go, guys. I just go through this thing, and as I'm fitting it up, I make sure my edges are 100% flush, and you can see it's not a perfect fit up, but it's pretty darn close to it. Back here I ended up with a little bit of a gap, but hey, if I was gonna have a gap, this is back where I would want it to be. You can look down the side, our panel is pretty flush with the door. I haven't tacked or welded anything underneath yet. This is the most important part, that and getting the door gap right. All right, so this is, I'd say midway, but this is probably 90% of the way, at least on this seam, all welded up. You can see it's ground down too, so I'll weld this much, and then I'll pull out the grinder and I'll grind it, and then I'll go back and I'll weld. And I mean, it's pretty easy to see where you still need to weld and where you already have welded. It also helps get rid of any of those humps from your previous weld so that you don't cold lap anything. Well, kids, we did really good up here. Things were kind of weird, but we got this done. Yeah, but then I don't know what in the world up here, but boy, I knew it was coming, and it was to get this rocker to fit, but I don't know, I cut it sitting tight on top of itself. It should have cut clean, but it didn't. Anyway, got some TIG rod here. We're going to lay this in, hit it with the MIG gun, weld her up, and grind it down. It'll look good when it's all done. It's just, you know, it shows the good stuff. This is real. Well, here we go. Got the, whoa, dang, sorry. Got the Bondo glass here, short strand fiberglass reinforced filler for all the weld seams. Fill all that stuff. This actually turned out really nice looking. It's pretty good. The very front up here, you know, it was just all about getting a gap in between the rocker and the door. So we'll schmooze a little on there and make it look good. But yeah, we need to get this stuff mixed up, spread up, so we can get it drying. Yep, you guys know how these old Chevy pickups, they always have a low spot coming down here and one back here. Well, got a dolly slapper. I've already kind of poked out on it a little bit and got us things raised up. Now I'm just going to come back and kind of flatten that out a little. Alright, so we got 80 grit on a palm sander. Yeah, 80 grit on a palm sander. Just gonna knock the top off real quick so we can get any kind of sticky stuff gone. Alright, now we're going to hit a couple of these with a little stud gun action. Got the little draw pins. You taking, yeah, you've seen these things. They sell them at the Harbor Freight, but this one's just, it was before they started making everything at Harbor Freight. It is the original Uni-Spotter, which is kind of cool. I think my dad bought it for me when I was probably 15 or 16. So 85, something like that. Some of you was just being born. Been a good tool. Back when we'd say buy American. So I took these pliers and I ground the back of them so that the cutting edge is really close. So they'll almost cut flush with the metal. And then you can just grab those little boogers, twist them, pop them loose. Had to be careful you do that on a motorcycle gas tank. You'll pull a hole in it though. Learned that the hard way. So we'll do another little pull right over here beside where that one was. Alright, with that little bit of metal work done, now we are mixing more of the fiberglass reinforced filler. I just try to put this over the top of any of my weld seams. It just is more water resistant than body filler is because it uses the glass fibers for filling, and body filler uses talc, which absorbs water. So anywhere I have a weld seam, I try to go back over it with this stuff. I didn't have any epoxy mix or anything. A lot of times I'll spray epoxy over my bare metal before I wipe this on there, but hey, it's going to be fine. We have pretty good access to the inside of this part to be able to waterproof it. So yeah, there you go. All right, Here we are. It's super late o'clock, but we got all the body work pretty much finished out. I did 180 and get rid of any bad scratches, then 320'd. So now we can prime, and our overspray, it's all going to stick on 320 grit scratches. That'll keep those scratches from showing up later. And yeah, everything's kind of done. We're just going to prime basically cab corner, rocker. All right, we come out here first thing this morning and blew some primer on the epoxy. Just like all my other stuff, we'll let this dry for probably about an hour. It's pretty cool out this morning. 72.3. So that means that this product on the tech sheet, at they're 70 degrees, they want 30 minutes before you top coat it with anything. So this being epoxy, we want to give it plenty of time. It'll stay open for days. So we'll give this about an hour, come back out, hit it with 3 coats of high build primer. So what do you think of my masking job? Yeah, this is the same piece of plastic that I covered the truck up with before. That piece right there just keeps wanting to blow up and hit that. I need to tape that down, I guess. Now that we got our priming done, how about we clean our gun? My favorite thing, a little bit of the O'Reilly's brake clean. And I'm using disposable cups, which just save on the cleaning as well. Some people say they'd rather go and buy a brand new gun every time. Whatever you want to do, dude. It is super nasty, super dusty work. I mean, laying on your back, sanding the underside. I didn't even show you guys that, but I did block it and then just run over it with a DA to get any bad scratches out. Yeah, so I've sanded all the edges. I just gotta peel my tape back, do a little 800 grit up in there so scratches don't show up, and we'll be good to go. It uses his hand to feel the paint. Yeah, I missed sanding that corner right there. I still feel texture on it, so I'll knock that down. Just been using a foam 3M superfine pad, really. After I got done blocking everything, it's aggressive enough to put a good scratch in there and level things out, but not be too aggressive. It works fast. I like that. Everything dry, no wet sanding. Used to wet sand everything back in the day. Yeah, that's right. More scuffy. All right, that's what we call it. And all there is just more of it, you know. All right, here we go. I'm going to purge the cartridge. And by the way, you can see we're just using a self-leveling seam sealer, which kind of sucks for going up underneath here, but we'll be able to pump it in there and just clean it off as it tries to run out. It gets dry pretty quick, and it's about 90 degrees. here right now. So, plenty warm. I just like to gun out a short bit there, make sure we got a good mix. Take this. This stuff will last for about 5 minutes without messing with it. Maybe less today because it's really warm. We just lay down here with it. Got it taped off. I should show you fellas how I've got it done up. So we get clean lines. We're just filling this dude up. Yeah, try to make it look decent at least. And there you go. The new laying upside down seam sealer technique. And you just start wiping it clean. Like I said, it's taped off down here, so when we pull the tape, it'll be a nice clean line. Just get the surface smooth. You do have a limited amount of time to play around though, Bobby. Be nice if you could make that look good and one wipe across there. I could stand just a hair right in there. Yeah, you know it. So after that initial application, toss the gun over to the side, wipe your finger through it. Wait for it to just start to set up before you pull the tape. Once you get started pulling the tape, you're committed to dealing with whatever happens. So I've got wax and grease remover right here, rag in this hand, gloves, keep this stuff off of me. Just kind of pick this tape off wherever we can. And go with it. Hit it. Wax and grease remover. Get it on your glove. Wipe your glove up through it. Pull it tight first. Back off jack, let it dry. Seal the rest of it and you're getting closer to painting it. Like a genie should have popped out of this sucker by now as many times that I've rubbed on it. But it has gotten cleaner every single time. It is finally at the point we're ready to start pulling the trigger. Hose that hose section off. No paint past that point. Seal it up tight. Make it all stick good so you can peel a little at a time. Make sure to not get carried away. Yeah, everything will be alright. Basically the same masking job we used when we primed it, so yeah, saving on the money on this one. Oh dang, we just gotta get it done. It is stinking hot in Oklahoma right now. Been raining like monsoon. And then here is the Gulf Shore heat. Yep. Yeah, you know that feeling. You gotta resurrect that tack rag you had from 1998 or something. Yeah, she'll be fine, boys. I think we got it. Blow it off. Sealer's right here. Let's do this. Yep, about like using an aerosol can, only better. Yeah, don't go celebrating yet, but it almost looks like we fixed something here. Now we got to get the color on without having problems. Better let this dry for a bit though. Looks kind of wet, doesn't it? Alright, sealer is flashed. 30 minutes. Looks pretty good. Gonna take and mix up a little DBC. Get it sprayed. Let it dry. And I don't know if the camera does that justice, but that's a 16-ounce can. Maybe an eighth to a quarter full. Yeah, half a pint. Paint that. Well, it'll be good because we got to reduce this still. Yeah, wouldn't you know it? I mean, that was the last 5 drops out the can. Eyeball ratio looks good. Well, I had to pour that little tiny bit on the floor, but apparently I can't help making a mess. You know, since we're basically working at NASA out here, it's a full safety protocol engaged. You know what I'm saying? In case DOT or OSHA or somebody decides to stop by. Yeah, like I got time for that. It is a pretty day out, isn't it? There's old cat. She's, feed me, come on, feed me. Yeah, fun times here at the Hogshooter America. Yep. All right, homie. Back at it. You know, got a brand new air compressor sitting out there. Nice air filtration system in a box. I should make a video of putting that in instead of fixing somebody's truck, eh? What did y'all think? Drop me a comment. Let me know. Out spray. What kind of evil witchcraft is this stuff? Oh yeah. Just basically like spraying some really slow evaporating thinner on your overspray edge. Makes it go away for you. Yeah, just don't get carried away with it. Man, this heat's making this stuff pretty amazing. I mean, it looks wet, but that is dry to the touch. Come out here at, I don't know, around 7 this morning. Hit it with epoxy, went in, ate some oatmeal, come back out, put 3 wet coats of high build on it, run to town, did some errands, come back at about 1 and started sanding it, and like 5:15. So yeah, I gotta get after it. Got stuff to do, places to go. Alright, sorry about the fan noise. It's almost necessary to run the fan 24/7 here right now because it's really hot. And you got to maintain the airflow on your paintwork, fellers. So at any rate, yeah, all the colors done. So getting ready to put the PPE on and mix clear. Just some good stuff, Roberto. Standard hardener, nothing super slow, nothing fast. 2 to 1. Went up number 5 with the clear coat. That's in that 2 column. Next is the next 5. Yep. Using that G5 double knot 5, the good stuff, I guess. Yeah. That's what we got. It seemed like it worked last time. Everything was perfectly fine. Oh yeah, that's running. Oh, we were going to that 5, weren't we? Whew. Good thing we got another can, huh? Man, those are weird sizes. It's all fun, right? How are you all doing? Been doing good? I I don't take enough time and thank people that have subscribed and took their time to watch me spending my time doing, work. And I don't know, been videoing a lot of car shows, but man, a lot of stuff I need to get done, people. Yeah, somebody's gonna have to pay a fella, you know what I mean. Yeah. Okay, so that is there. It's always a good idea to really stir it in real fast. Make sure you get the edges. Spray booth engaged. Learn how to do paint and body, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Restore an old car. It's relaxing. Whatever. Get her done. Move on. I enjoy it most of the time. Well, I tell you what, I appreciate all the prayers and everything over that. That thing is like dirt free, almost. I mean, you know, we do have NASA certified fans up here and stuff, so Mother Nature filtration out back. Bass anglers around Oklahoma, be careful. I just saw Jimmy roll out with the Bass Tracker 5000. He's fixing to go take home the money, boys, so watch out. Feels like a pretty good day to be out on the lake, honestly. A little hot off in here. I don't know. We may have to paint some parts for old Jimmy sometime on his bass boat. It's a dang nice one, boy. He's a heck of a fisherman. Alright, so anyhow, anyway. Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. No. What do you think? Leave it in a comment. Let me know. That's 2 soaking wet coats of the Roberto whatever 6000 Wonder Clear. Yeah, 2-to-1 mix, standard hardener. Sprayed soaking wet out here in the, I don't know, it's about a 90-degree temperature, I believe. All right, 89 degrees, so that means that, yeah, she's drying pretty fast. We need to go ahead and, like, I mixed up a little bit more clear than I thought. I mean, there's enough for one more solid coat on here, so I do want to let it sit for about 15 minutes before I put that 3rd coat on there. But since it's 90 degrees surface temperature, she's just kind of tacky. You about got her on this one, boys. Right here is where we stopped. So we had approximately 400 milliliter. Yeah, 14 ounces mixed. We still got, dang, 200. So wow, yeah, we wasted a good bit right there. Sorry, Mother Earth. I didn't mean to do it. Just happened that way. Yeah, well, Jimmy, I told you the fish is at the point. Come back, quarter mile, look west, southwest. Right up there, 14-foot water. Yep, brush pile. Catch him, catch him. All right, if you've worked on any of these OBS trucks, you know that pins and bushings need to be replaced every time, just about. I think this one, this may be like the third set. Hey, at least you can replace them. This one's kind of, it's already split, so I knew that we needed to be replacing on it. And it's going to break into a million pieces. These things are made out of some kind of bronze or something. There we go. So, yeah, you can see that's your bushing. And this is the pin. That's all you have that holds the doors on these trucks. And then fairly snug. This one is the new one. Goes up in there. Gotta give it a little motivation from a hammer, I'm sure. Maybe the gap aligner might be the thing to get out on this deal. There we go. It's hammered in, pretty flush. That tightens that end up nicely. Now we got to knock this one out and replace it. Pretty basic stuff, guys. Just take your time and do a good job. Yeah. See if we can, no, break it. All right, there you go. Pins are driven back in. Put new bushings in. We still got to plug in our wires and hook up the little loom that goes from the truck to the door. But the door's back on now. We've got good gaps all along. No, I didn't do the body work on this door. I probably should have while I had it off. Just set it up on a bench and, you know, fix the dents and stuff in it, because it is bad, but hey, that's all for a future me kind of problem. Thing we're going to do next is we're going to change the clips from that fender onto this fender and then align it, but you can tell it's passenger side, not driver's side. So I'll just kind of do that one first, then we'll jump over here to the driver's side, change them clips out. You know, you might look at this, the first video of this truck, and be like, oh, it's not bad. This is what lies underneath, is like she's starting to rust out, getting ready to be pretty bad. So to take these clips off, just some kind of a 90-degree tool, get in there, pry up on this little tang, and then push out. Don't lose it inside the fender if you can keep from it. Come on. So you can see that's what they look like. This little piece latches it into the hole. You just slide them on, everything's good. Let's put some back on this other fender. Yep, when I'm doing this, I just start like one spot and work my way around the fender, putting them back on just like I took them off. It works pretty good. All right, so we got our truck wrapped up there, rocker panel in, all the rust cut out and repaired with new metal. Got that door on and fender on is the last little piece there. And gap doesn't look bad at all on the door. Fender looks good to the door. She's kind of wide up here. That's in a future installment. I mean, Look at how this thing turned out. Super nice. Not too many issues. Yeah, door shuts great. So, hey, if you got something out of the video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me and watching the whole video today. So let's pull something else in here so we can do another project.